start. And after country come the people that make everything possible. The Agribusiness and Countryside Development Foundation is a nonprofit member-supported organization. And we are here through the support and generosity of our partner institutions, special partner institutions, corporate members, and individual members, all of whom support our advocacy for agribusiness and countryside development as a means to poverty alleviation. And we thank all of you for allowing us to continue operating as we do. Okay, for those of you who are with us again this morning, thank you very much, and we're very glad to see you once more. We've got an exciting topic ahead of us. For those of you who are joining us 2 weeks later through our social media, we upload all of our sessions for free in the future for you to enjoy. As I mentioned earlier, we are a nonprofit member-supported organization, and if you like the content that we put out, and you'd like to gain access to our live sessions and engage with our speakers, or with our wide network of agribusiness and countryside development organizations, do consider supporting us as a member. You can introduce yourself through our email at register@mapbcdf-abcdf.g. Our links are in the description. But in any case, you've got an exciting and interesting topic for this morning. And our speaker is a young farmer who is here to share his experience, I think, with us. So I'd like to ask our president, Mr. Ernie Ordonez, to introduce our speaker for this morning. Ernie, please, you have the floor.
Yes, if I get off because I'm traveling, just proceed. I'd like to say that I talked to Javier right before we started, and he's 21 years old. It's really inspiring. But just to let you know, he's already the president of his own organization. He wanted to do agriculture, but in addition, he did biosystems engineering. And he has a heart for the poor because during the COVID, he volunteered to help in the COVID instrument. But he's mark of the youth because his technology is savvy. He is into organic farming, but he has his own brown rice small miller. This is the youth that we want, very innovative, very committed to our country. I told Jay that he should give us, especially the older people who should really have the enthusiasm of the youth. So I'd like to present to you Jay Javier. He's from Tarlac and he's talking to us from Tarlac, but he's very innovative. He, in fact, got rice, brown rice. It had the highest price rice because the rice was so excellent. His technology, expertise, commitment, youth, energy, and most of all, leadership. He's the president already of a group there. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you Jay Javier. Jay?
So I am again Javier from Mayantoc, Tarlac, the young organic farmer of Central Luzon. So before I start with my presentation, I would like to briefly introduce myself. So I came from a farming family. My father was a rice and vegetables farmer, and he also raises animals like cows, carabao, and the like. And my mother grows ornamental plants, which those are our main source of income ever since I was born. And that's what I think that because it's the reason why I became naturally inclined with farming. So as I grew older and experienced more about farming, the love for farming is developed within me. So as we go along with my presentation, I will going to share more about my experiences in organic farming and as a young farmer and farmer leader in our community. So thank you for having me today. It's my pleasure to share with you my experiences and to this great opportunity for me to share our legacy and mission. So let me share my screen first. So we will be talking about today about organic farming and the brown rice impeller micromill, or the BRIMM. Is brown rice impeller micromill, it came from the PhilMech and was turned over to us last March 23, 2022. And just a little trivia, my partner is having labor with our firstborn when I had to attend the turnover ceremony of the BRIMM. And our baby was born on March 24, 2022. So even before we had the BRIMM, we already had a lot of challenges to just to have this kind of equipment that eventually made us gain an access to affordable milling facility for our produce, which is organically produced red rice and black rice. So first, let me share my insights on why should we do organic farming. So when we are talking about something that we are going to do, the first thing we should ask ourselves is our why. Because when we are not certain about why are we doing something, why are we doing something, there's a high possibility that we are going to part ways with the goals or dreams that we have. So first and foremost, I think that organic farming is safe for the farmer, consumer, and the environment. Safe for the farmer because in organic farming, we don't use harmful chemicals like pesticides and fertilizers to grow our crops, and we don't use lots of antibiotics to our livestock and poultry. That's why it's also safe for our consumer, because what we give our plants and animals is what the consumers eat when we sell our products. And lastly, it's safe for the environment because we are not using harmful chemicals not only to human but also to the environment, in a sense that we preserve the biodiversity in our soil and our surroundings, and we don't contribute to the pollution, water and air pollution. And the next one is organic farming can be a profitable business. I started organic farming just because I wanted to provide safe food for my family. And eventually, as our produce exceeds our daily consumption, we try to sell our products as organically grown, as we cannot label them as organic because it is prohibited by the law. And then we see that organic farming can be a profitable business if we can do it at scale, and even at the backyard scale we can have a decent additional source of income for our family. And to cater our personal expenses. The next one is organic farming can be a healthy family venture. In my case, even though I am at the front end of organic farming and our farm, I attend seminars, I take interviews from various agencies and speak in occasions like this and seminars. The whole success of our farm is a cumulative effort of our family. I do the research and I select the commodities that we grow and produce in our farm. It's like the organic rice and organic vegetables. While my father takes the initiative to take care of the plants that we are growing. As a student, I cannot dedicate my full time in farming. That's when my father came into the picture. And then my mother, as she have background in selling, she handles the selling of our produce in nearby community, in nearby barangay, and to to her friends. That's how we sell our organic produce. And my younger brother serves as the driver for my mother when she sells our produce, and sometimes he can do the selling alone without my mother when he is she is busy. And then I had my partner, which I had help in marketing and in designing labels, writing Facebook posts for our social media, and designing ads for our products. That's why I can say organic farming can be a healthy family venture. It can it can be a way for us to culture our communication with our family members and nurture our relationship. And next, organic farming can take you anywhere. How? First and foremost, organic farming can take you to some places because you want to learn organic farming. When you want to learn organic farming, you will the first thing you may do is to visit organic farms. That's where you can pick ideas which you can adapt to your own farm. And next is organic farming can take you to different places by attending seminars, trainings, and serving as resource speaker as well. That's why organic farming can take you anywhere. And the third one is when you are looking for suppliers and buyers and delivering your produce, you can also have the luxury to travel while making profit and reach places that you've never gone before. You've never went before. And as we already talked about the whys of organic farming, the second difficult question to answer is how. How to start organic farming. So today I will discuss a general procedure on how I think we can start organic farming. First one is we should take our time to learn, as lack of knowledge is dangerous. But when we decide to do something, we just don't do it right away. we gather information, valuable information, and take our time to learn as much as possible so that we could have a broad insight about the industry that we are going into. Just like how entrepreneurs study whether they want to enter a market or not. So here are ways that we can learn to practice organic farming. The first one is to read. Reading can be boring sometimes, but it's one way to gain information from the internet, books, and other informative media that we can find and is readily available for us. Our only duty or task is to read them and understand. Next is to watch. There are lots of videos, blogs, and seminars like this that is already uploaded in the internet like Facebook and YouTube. That's where we can gain some knowledge and first-hand experience from these content creators about organic farming. Just beware that not all that is posted in the internet is true and reliable. It's always on us on how to choose the choose and verify our sources of information. And the next one is to listen. They say that when you want to succeed in a specific market, specific venture, it's better for you to have a mentor. And that also applies in organic farming. You may choose to find a mentor that can help you and guide you in doing organic farming. You can also attend seminars and trainings where you can meet people that is on the same industry that you are into. And that's also a good way to build your network when you where you can find suppliers and buyers for your product in the future. And lastly, the knowledge that we gain from reading, watching, and listening is useless when we don't do it. That's why practice doing organic farming. That's where you can be good at organic farming. So when you already gained a significant amount of knowledge about organic farming, that's when you can start making a plan. Just like doing business, where we prepare our business plan, plan is crucial for us to succeed in any venture. Just like in organic farming, which is as per definition, agriculture is the art, science, and business of growing crops and raising animals for food and other purposes. And when they say business, you can't do business without a concrete plan. This is a framework on how which can serve as a guide when drafting our plan. The first one is we should be specific. once we already gained insights about organic agriculture, we can choose which commodity we are interested and which commodity is suitable for our place or where our farm is located. We must determine what should we do and what we should not do. They always say that we always must always have our to-do list, but we rarely hear that they recommend to have a not to-do list. Why do we have to write a not to-do list? A not to-do list can guide us and help us discipline ourselves in our path in achieving our to-do list. And because our not to-do list may serve as a distraction if we cannot manage. It's like, for example, when we choose to produce organic rice and organic vegetable, we may opt out producing organic swine, organic poultry, and the like. And then we can proceed to measurable. We should have established a way to measure our progress in our specific goals and objectives. When we say, for example, we choose to produce organic rice, our progress might be being able to produce the average yield per hectare of organic rice, which is about, if I'm not wrong, is 3.7 to 4.2 tons per hectare. That's how we can make our plan measurable. And next is attainable. Attainable in a sense that our plan must be challenging for us to do, but it's not impossible. When we say, for our example of producing organic rice, we can say and we are confident that we can achieve the average yield per hectare. But when we say that if we want to quadruple the average yield per hectare using organic farming, it may become an impossible venture. But who knows if someone can develop the technology to achieve that kind of yield. The next one is realistic. No matter how ambitious our plan may become, we shall always be realistic. And we shall make sure that the goals that we have set can be done on our in a specific time frame and to the best of our ability. And lastly, our plan should be time bound. Listing what you want to do and how you want to do it is not enough. We should set a specific time for us to finish or achieve milestones for our goals. Because with proceeding our plans without a specific timeline or roadmap, we can delay our own progress. That's the effect of not having a deadline. As for example, in our organic rice production, let's say that you are currently doing conventional rice production, you would plan to start the conversion process in the next cropping season, where you will employ 75% inorganic inputs, then 25% organic inputs. And for the succeeding cropping seasons, you will increment you will proceed with 50-50, then 25-75 ratio, and then you can become 100% organic rice producer. Then when we already constructed our plan, we can proceed with the gathering resources. In every venture that we choose to do, we always need to have the essential resources. But whether we have the resources or not, it can be the reason for us to stop. That's why we can evaluate what resources we have, what resources we don't have, and what resources are essential just for us to start. That's the most important and most difficult to do when you want to achieve a specific goal, which the first resources that we should have in organic farming is land. Land that is suitable for farming and for any commodity that you want to produce. Although we can do organic farming using urban gardening techniques like using pet bottles, sacks, pots, and etc. If you want to do organic farming at a commercial scale, you should have a land that is suitable for it. Because organic farming is a long-term investment. You can't just choose to do organic farming this season and the next season you will go back to conventional. That's not how organic farming works. When we choose to dedicate a portion of our land to organic farming, we must do our best to not to revert back to inorganic farming. The next one is inputs. When we say inputs, although most of our resources are already present in our farm, like the farm waste, like rice straw, animal manure, which we can convert into organic fertilizer, there are still resources that we have to source outside the farm, like the molasses, which we can use as an ingredient in making our own organic fertilizers, organic concoctions, and organic biopesticides. As molasses helps with the fermentation the of those organic foliar spray. And lastly, although I do not recommend to, or it's not a requirement to have a machine for you to start a organic farming business, in the long run, we can save our money when we have our own machines. And also for the convenience of having your own machine and not having to wait for the schedule of machines for hire. And that is crucial in meeting your schedules and your in keeping up with your farming schedule. And the tools that we use in organic farming shall not be used in conventional farming for us to avoid the contamination. For example, the sprayer that we are using in conventional farming is in contact with chemicals and harmful pesticides. And we can't use that same sprayer to spray our organic foliar to our plants because we can introduce contamination to our crops. And then we can start to do organic farming once we have learned what we have to learn and we already constructed our plan. And it's also important to maintain an updated farm records just like any other business for you to review and study if your farming activity is profitable or not. And also when something went wrong, you can have something to go back to for you to have an informed data-driven decision. And as you continue your organic farming journey, this is a continuous learning process. So I encourage you to continue even though I assure you that you will surely face several mistakes along your way, and the most important thing is you can learn the lesson that you have to learn from that mistakes. And in this part, I would like to share my organic farming journey. So looking back to our past few years, I can tell that this had the greatest influence of how I came into farming and organic farming itself. First one is during my childhood. During my childhood, as my father is a farmer, he always take me with him when he is going to our farm, where we plant different kind of vegetables. We also I also go with my mother to sell our produce in the nearby community and to our public market. And then when I started going to school, join my I cannot come to the go with my father to the farm. But the good thing is in our school, which is the Carabaon Kaukawayan Elementary School, and when I reach high school, the Carabaon Kaukawayan High School, every class or every section have to manage and maintain a portion of the school as a vegetable garden, where we students are trained and exposed into gardening. We produce various kinds of vegetables such as sweet potato, eggplant, tomato, and etc. When I reach high school, our school won the Bulaklakan and Gulayan contest in our public schools this division, I think, division level, because our school have a lot of not just ornamental plants but vegetables being grown in the front and backyards. And then I met Miss Wanda. Miss Wanda is I met Miss Wanda during our work immersion as grade 12 student, as my specialization is TBL, Agricultural Crops Production and situ, where she served as one of our facilitators, and she is hands-on on guiding us in doing agricultural crops production. And she also joined us in our educational trips to various farms within the municipality. She also served as the municipal organic agriculture focal person. That's why she is the one where whom I ask for advice when I want to try a specific commodity in our farm like organic rice, organic vegetable, and the like. She is also the one who encouraged me to submit a portfolio to the Regional Organic Agriculture Achievers Award this past 2020. And fortunately, I won the award of being the Outstanding Young Farmer of Central Luzon. I would also like to share my legacy as a young organic farmer to our community. The first one is even before I became a young farmer awardee, and when I have the seeds and planting materials, I open-heartedly share this with my friends and my father's co-farmers. The next one is the foundation of Mayantoc Organic Farmers Association. This is founded by yours truly, together with my co-founders, my partner, and Mr. Eduardo Pablo, and his wife Gloria Pobre Pablo, last August 2021. This is few months when I started being a cooperator of Department of Agriculture Regional Field Office 3 in their research or study about organic rice-based farming system. In Mayantoc, there are two cooperators. One is yours truly, and the other one is Mr. Tommy Garma, a well-known organic practitioner, which is also a organic achievers Hall of Famer. And the next one is sharing my knowledge and experience to farmers and students. I have experience being invited several times to speak as a resource speaker in seminars about organic farming. And I'm glad to share the experience that I had in my few years of organic farming. And I am thankful that my efforts of sharing my knowledge and experience, when I visit those attendees, I see on my I can see that they have done what they learned from our training. They practice organic vegetable production, they produce their own organic concoctions, they also produce their own organic fertilizer via vermicomposting. And the next one is our project with the Mayantoc Organic Farmers Association. As a president of the association, I initiated the pigmented rice seed loan program. At first, the seeds that I share is given for free. But when I realized that some farmers tend to sell all of their harvest without setting aside their seeds for next season, we decided to make it as a loan, where during after their harvest they will return an equal amount of pigmented rice seed that is given to them, so we can have the wheel rolling by lending the seeds to other farmers again. And we can now proceed to the PhilMech brown rice impeller micromill, or the BRIMM. This is our picture on March 23, 2022, where we attended the turnover ceremony of the brown rice impeller micromill. Miss Wanda is with us, and our four of our members in the association. Here we are taught on how to operate and maintain the brown rice impeller micromill. Brown rice impeller micromill is a village milling equipment that can be used, that can be plugged to our home to a 220-volt socket, which means as long as there is electricity in our place, we can use the machine, and we don't have to buy fuel like diesel or gas. The one advantage of using brown rice impeller micromill is it is gender friendly. Our members, male or female, and even our young farmers can easily operate the brown rice impeller micromill, and it is safe as the moving parts are also covered with safety covers. The brown rice impeller micromill can mill approximately more or less 50 kilograms of brown rice per hour. Although that can be small compared to the commercial scale of milling, we are thankful that we had the opportunity to become a cooperator in the development of this machine. This machine helped us to mill our produce. This also comes with the plastic sealer and the polypropylene bags for product development, eh, coming from PhilMech. This is the label that designed for us by the DOST Tarlac. This is our milled black rice using the BRIMM. As you can see that there are white, red, and other impurities, and we can say that this is due to the quality of seeds that we are currently using. And we intend to have a dedicated seed production for organic rice, black and red rice. This is our red rice. As you can see, there are also impurities of white and black rice. This is not due to the machine, as we can easily remove the remaining impurities from the machine easily, but the reason behind this is the purity of the seed that we are using. This is the main problem we are currently facing, the lack of pure seeds that we can use to achieve a pure harvest. I've already attended a training course on inbred rice production, but the problem now is the certification process, where I currently don't have the land suitable for accreditation of a seed grower in rice, as it is a requirement to have an irrigated at least 1 hectare of rice farm. And our farm is only half a hectare, and this is our bottleneck for now. These are the PhilMech personnel conducting tests for BRIMM using our black and red rice. As we reported that some of the rice comes with the rice hull coming out from the output chute. Then they recommended to lower the feeding rate, and we solved the problem. The good thing about PhilMech is that they don't only give us the technology or the machine. They also offer their technical expertise for us to utilize the machine and solve problems that we encounter while using the machine. And this is the PhilMech's cover story for Anihan Magazine, Volume 7, Number 1, which is for January to June 2022. And here are some members of the Mayantoc Organic Farmers Association having a picture with the brown rice impeller micro mill. This photo is taken also by PhilMech personnel who interviewed us for the cover story for the Anihan magazine. For those who want to communicate with me, provided in the screen is the screenshot of my Facebook profile and contact details for you to take note and communicate with us for possible partnership and the like. And I would like to leave to you this quote, that he who knows how to produce his own food will never get hungry. As we intend to end poverty in our country, giving money to our fellow countrymen is insufficient or inefficient. Why? Because when we are giving them money right away for them to spend, we are not teaching them how to become independent, but rather they become dependent to the government providing for them. That's why we can help to educate and teach our fellow countrymen to produce their own food using organic production techniques, even though they don't have their own land. But as I have already said in the beginning, that we can also do organic farming using urban gardening techniques like using pots, sacks, pet bottles, and etc. And I guess that will be the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening and God bless.
Is here. So usually we close out our formal session by asking you how we as the Agribusiness and Countryside Development Foundation can help you. What are the things that you'd like or the things that are constraining you moving forward? You mentioned land. I'm afraid I don't think we can help you there unless we have somebody from our audience in Mayantoc that's interested in, you know, investing into you. But what are some things that you'd like help with? What are things that you feel we might be able to use our network, sorry, our network and our connections to be able to help propel you forward, as we, especially in terms of let's say creating employment opportunities, or maybe making it easier for you to uh, create some action in your community. What thoughts might you have on that?
So I think we need some help in the management of our organization. As being a young farmer leader is I don't have enough expertise in leading my organization, and I am open for having a mentor or having some partners that can work with us to improve our operations and the management all in all. And for the organic rice venture of the organization, I think we need some help in securing a steady supply of durable packaging materials, sacks, and PP bags, as DOST also have given us a vacuum packaging machine, but we don't we
You don't have the suppliers for the material.
yes, so for the packaging materials we are looking for, but the the size of the packaging materials available in the market doesn't fit our packaging, which is 1, 2, or 3 kilograms, and the one that we bought recently is not good for vacuum packaging. When few minutes after the vacuum packaging, the seal became the package material or the package product became loose, and I think we should also need some help in having access to label printing and sack printing for our for our product, and for the and assistance also in the registration of our brand name or trademark, which is the MOPAs, or the Mayantoc finest.
Very good. These are all very concrete examples, I think, that we might be able to help you in. We've got farmer leaders of our own in the audience. They may be interested in reaching out to you as you are looking for, possible mentors for your path moving forward. I think that's something that might come up in our informal discussion. And as for material suppliers, label packaging machines, perhaps members of our audience may be able to connect you with people who might be able to supply you with these materials. That might be something that would be good. Okay, so with that, it's 9 o'clock. And we'd like to close out our formal session for this morning. But for those of you who, for those of you who do need to go ahead, we'll close out in a short while, but for those of you who can stay. So before we end our formal session, let's please first give our appreciation to Jay for Javier. If we can please give our certificate of appreciation to him. So the Agribusiness and Countryside Development Foundation, in partnership with the Management Association of the Philippines, together with our partner institutions, special partner institutions, senior special partner institutions, corporate members, and individual members, all present this certificate of appreciation to J. for Javier for his invaluable support in the advocacy and promotion of agribusiness and countryside development, and for his commendable and unselfish services rendered to this foundation as our resource speaker, given on our 20th weekly online meeting of 2023, given the 6th day of June, signed myself as our chairman and Ernie Bernaldez as our president. And then for those of you who are looking forward to our session next week, our session, okay, there we go. So Salago Fiber from the Philippine Fiber, from Philfida. Okay, excellent. Yeah, we have had some very interesting topics on Philippine textiles recently. So thank you very much, Bernie. I think building upon that, that one may give us some interesting insights into how the fiber industry might be further developed. Okay, and before... Okay, thank you very much to everyone. So for those of you who do need to go ahead for other appointments, this concludes our formal session for this morning. And we really do thank you for your time, for joining us this early in the morning, and we hope to see you again soon. The Agribusiness and Countryside Development Foundation is a nonprofit member-supported organization, and we rely on the support and generosity of members like you to do what we do in the spirit of poverty alleviation and employment generation for countryside development and for agribusiness development as well. If you are joining us 2 weeks later through our social media, thank you very much for joining us as well. We upload all of our sessions for free viewing of the public, and we hope that you were able to gain something from our session today. If you'd like to get more, please consider joining us as a member. That would allow you access to our live sessions and our informal sessions so that you can discuss with our speaker and our wide network of agribusiness and countryside development organizations. If that interests you, do send us an email at register@map-abcdf.org. Links are in the description. Introduce yourselves, and we'd very much like to get to know you. Okay, but with that, that ends our formal session for this morning. We hope to see you in our next session. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good day.